So a guy I went to high school with, Ronaldo Jones. It is great to kind of reconnect with this guy a little bit. Where we were in high school, we were teammates. We played football together. He was older. Um, wouldn't say same circles or nothing like that, but you would have never have guessed, and not saying it braggadociously, but you would have never guessed that me and him would have become guys who sought education and would talk about things that I'm going to touch on that he said. Um, he is about to. He is. I actually say about. I don't know how far into his program he is, but RJ is going for a doctorate in strategic leadership. I believe is what he said, and that is absolutely amazing. Like he was a quote unquote class clown, you could say, and I was Mr. Hardhead. Now he's about to get a PhD. Congrats to that, by the way, bro. And and I just got a master's in divinity. But he made a video talking about working on yourself from 5 to 9. No, we all work 9 to 5, and he said working on yourself from 5 to 9. Now, I'm just gonna relate what I felt like I picked up from what he was saying, and that's the beauty of of subjectivity is someone can present something, and if there's something you're blessed by, something you can grow from, maybe it doesn't exactly have to be what they were aiming for, but just to touch on what he said, he was talking about doing things outside of work that can carry over into your professional life, carry over into your home life, and your so on and so forth. And I can point to a direct correlation of growth in my life from two things. Um, and me improving in every area in my life from two things. One, uh, when I developed a habit, a hobby, a desire to physically improve myself, to become healthier, to eat better, to work out, to be active. And the other was when I was inspired by my current pastor to approach Christianity from an analytical and education standpoint, not just the spirit standpoint that I've always approached it with. Um, so when I did something outside of those areas and I started finding truth in things that you had heard your entire life, right? That if you exercise and work out, you're going to be a healthier, happier person. And that shadow, if you read, if you pursue wisdom, whether it was, of course, it's spiritual, but it's also knowledge straight away. No knowledge is worthless. Um, but if you become a reader, and you develop, not just, hey, this is in front of me because it's in front of me, but you learn theory of why something is what something is, and then you learn to apply it because now well, this is the A, B, C, and D of it. Now I know why it's here. Now I can apply it with passion, with vigor, and stuff like that. Um, so that's just something that I can point to, that my career turned around, my health turned around. My marriage was already great, but it got better when, as a therapist once told me, when you clean up your side of the street, you go out and you break a sweat every day, and you get negative energy out. For you car guys, you can think of it like overcharging a battery. We're a battery. We get up every day. We go to work. We burn the energy we can, and then we're constantly refueling. We're refueling with food. We're refueling with sleep and stuff like that. And then you sit around a worked up ball of kinetic energy waiting to explode. Right. But what I can touch on, excuse me. But what a contrast that I saw in what RJ's video was saying was to take things in your personal life and develop your personal growth and take them back into every other aspect of your life. See, as a blue collar guy, which I was for many years, and I've not been a blue collar guy in many years, and I say that I still got them rough hands, but professionally, I'm in a white collar setting. Um, But when I worked in a blue collar setting, you learned skills and crafts and trades at work. Then you took that out back into your personal life. I learned how to hang sheetrock, frame metal studs, and then I would look for opportunities to take that into my personal life to make extra money. Um, but now, as I've done things in my personal life to be healthier, to be happier, to grow in patience and wisdom and kindness, I'm able to take those things back into my professional life, into my home life, into my church life. I mean, I'm able to apply these things everywhere because of personal growth. I've learned to be more patient. I've learned to be more kind. I've cleaned up my language. You know, all of these things before I would have pushed against, just because of a awkward mindset, because of a mindset that said, you know, the bills are paid. What else do I need? Well, you know, good is good, but good can always be better. And I think part of the stigma on personal growth is that uh, people think that if there's a need for growth, then there must be something wrong. That I'm currently in a bad spot, and that's not the case at all. Um, you know, think about it in weightlifting. You bench 225 pounds. That's great. You can completely gain mass amounts of hypertrophy for 225. You can get stronger. You know, does it make it better? Does it make it any more useful? I mean, no. I mean, being able to do 225 here or 315 here is not going to have that big a different bearing in your life. Good was good. You just made it better. Unless you're an Olympic runner, if you can run a 6 minute mile, if you run a mile in under 10 minutes, running a mile in under 4 minutes is not going to change the outcome of your life. It's just going to say, hey, I was good and I wanted to be better. I wanted to push towards something. I wanted to reach something. And you'll see your confidence grow. You'll see um, your ability to present well. As I've went through homiletic classes and how to deliver a sermon and stuff like that, you know, those same principles work in how to deliver a presentation and how to, you know, as I'm learning to talk to people, you know, strategically about the gospel of Jesus Christ, that will also give me tools and traits that I can take back into work and learn to talk to people about a project that I'm trying to gain their trust on and get a contract on a you know, whatever size project it may be at the time. You know, there's 5 digit projects, there's 6 7 digit projects. You know, but that's those same skills, they can go everywhere. When I sat through counseling classes and I learned that, you know, I need to gather more information, right? That is now a trait that is carried with me into my marriage, is probably the biggest one there. Like I walk up and say, hey, all I have right now is a really high light bill. Should I start blaming people, or should I start walking around the house and gathering why this light bill is so high? Did the temperature go up? Um, do we have a mechanical issue somewhere in the home, electrical issue somewhere in the home causing this light bill to go up? Before I start saying the wife and kid are leaving the lights on, running the air conditioner too high. Um, so these traits go everywhere, right? Um, and to appeal to that blue collar guy that I used to be, you know, you're just getting better at something. Where you're at may be efficient, where you're at may be great, but you can get better at something. You can, and I'm not worried about the next guy. You can be better than who you were or who you are. You can improve upon that. Nobody can ever take that from you. But anyway, these are thoughts generated by my buddy's video. I hope y'all enjoyed them.